Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through the completion of the Chapter 7 workbook exercises. And in Chapter 7 we're going to do, for the workbook exercises, we are doing AP 2B, 3B, 4B, and 5B. So really focusing in on the bank reconciliation problems here. Okay, so let's go to AP 3B and 2B is our first problem. 2B, here we are. Okay, so the following information is related to a company called World's Computer. So we've got a cash balance ledger and a bank statement ledger. So that's kind of our beginning point. And then we've got a bunch of other transactions, that we need to account for essentially as we go through. So let's just fill out the first part here. We'll say World's Computer bank reconciliation, and let's say July 31st, 2018, I think it says in this one. Yeah, it was July 2018. Yep. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is do the two balances that we're reconciling. So cash balance per bank statement and then cash balance per books. And so per the bank statement, it told us that the cash balance was 24. I'm just going to actually copy this, paste that in. Does that work? It doesn't look very good, but is what it is. If I get rid of that dollar sign, it'll look a little better. Yeah, it's okay. There we go. A little better. Okay, and then 22.19 is our total for the cash balance per books. Okay, so here's the amounts we're trying to reconcile, and let's see what it tells us. Okay, it says these checks were recorded in the ledger but did not appear in the bank statement. So that means that they were outstanding checks that we issued, but they just haven't been processed yet. And so remember that it means that the cash will have been credited and reduced from our books, but not yet because it hasn't been processed through the bank yet. It won't show up there. So let's put deduct, and I'm going to say OS check, standing for outstanding check, and we'll put 186 OS check 193 OS check 199. Okay, so there's all those, and the totals there are 100 and 57. Finally 143. And if we add all three of those up, we get 300 as a total. Okay, so that is this one taken care of. A deposit was recorded in the ledger, so now we've got an addition then, and we're going to add, and this is going to be, you might see the word outstanding deposit. Deposit in transit. Let's call it deposits in transit is the common term that I'm used to seeing. 368. So again, that one was something we made, and it does say July 31st, so it's like the last day of the month. You're getting to the bank late, whatever, and so the bank hasn't had time to process that to show up on the bank statement yet, but it is there in our cash balances timing until that happens to show up for the bank. Okay, service charges of $18 are shown on the bank statement. So let's deduct on the the book side, and that is bank service charge of $18. We've got an automatic. Let's make an add section here. We got interest revenue. That's what it told us. We earned $7.80 of interest. It's like that's where the difference of 80 cents is going to come into play. But then let's see what do we have here. So that was interest revenue. And then this one where we have the bank error or some kind of error. I'm not sure if it's on the bank side or book side yet. But let's take a look. Okay, so a check for $37.50 has been cashed correctly by the bank, but was incorrectly recorded in our ledger as $375.50. Check was issued for the purchase of office supplies. Okay, so the bank did it right, and the bank went down $37.50 on cash. We went down $375.50. So we need to take the difference. So we need to add back 338. We'll say it's a ledger error, and we're adding back $338 to make that come out right. Okay, so let's do all of our math here. So add in 368 minus 300 to the bank side leaves us with 254. Let's say adjusted bank balance. And I got 254,680, and then we have adjusted book balance, and let's make sure we got everything right there. 2219 plus 7.8 plus 338 minus 18. Yep. We got the same balance, so we match. That's what we're trying to shoot for, so that's great. Okay, so we're all reconciled, and now we need to do some journal entries. And so let's go ahead and do those. And I'm going to follow kind of the way that the book does it here and separate out each journal entry. I generally like to include them as compound entries, but we'll do it how the book does it here for our purposes. So each one of the addition entries is going to have a debit to cash, because that's how that works. What we're doing is adding back to the cash balance there. So the first one will say interest revenue for $7.80. There we go. To record bank interest earned. Okay. Second entry here is going to be, again, an addition, 338. And it told us originally that this payment was for the purchase of office supplies. So we're going to do office supplies as our credit account to have a fix. Let's include that. And we'll say to correct ledger error. Okey-doke. And then the last one we've got here is bank charges expense, we'll say. So we have an expense for this $18, and this one's going to be a cash. This is the cash deductions, so that's going to be on the credit side for cash. And finally, we'll just say to record bank service charges. Okay, so that is the process. We got our step reconciled, and then we book all the journal entries that are on all the reconciling items on the book side. And yeah, that's the problem. All right, I will see you in the next video for the next problem. Thanks, everybody.